Everyone was her friend. She worked hard, very involved in sports.
28-year-old Brooke Cady was a friend, daughter, and also a mother to her 3-month-old son.
You know, you always think you tuck your kids in at night, they're safe. She wasn't safe.
Brooke's parents, Mary and Mark Cady, have now gone 13 years without answers as to exactly how their seemingly healthy daughter died in March of 2010. Brooke's father, Mark, recently retired from the Billings Police Department, where he worked as a lieutenant at the time of her death.
She was killed out in Lockwood, which is jurisdiction of Yellowstone County Sheriff's Department.
Brooke's autopsy hasn't been publicly released because the investigation is still active, but her family says it lists the cause of death as undetermined and states Brooke had an unknown chemical in her system. Mark says that chemical was related to her boyfriend's work.
The autopsy came out that Brooke had a high level of the chemical that's used in the oil field in her system. And his job, well, he always told us that he worked in a lab in Williston mixing chemicals for the Bakken.
Her parents are convinced there was nothing random or undetermined about their daughter's death. They believe she was murdered.
About 3 weeks before she died, she came to me and she said, if anything ever happens to me, will you please take care of Caden? And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Mark says he's frustrated at the way the investigation into Brooke's death has been handled. He believes mistakes were made by detectives from the start.
Talked to him frequently, made suggestions, watched as they didn't do things.
We first reached out to the Yellowstone County Sheriff's Office 2 months ago, hoping to discuss some of the concerns the family has, but requests for an interview and even a comment have been denied. I briefly spoke with Sheriff Linder, who could only say investigators have and continue to do their due diligence on this case. Regardless, the case remains open over a decade later, with an undetermined cause of death and a family frustrated and heartbroken.
I have no confidence that will ever be solved.
How does that feel as parents?
I know, it just makes you feel like a failure, you know?
In Billings, Haley Monaco, MTN News.